there's something powerful that happens when you finally stop chasing her. She starts chasing you. And yet, when that text pops up after days, maybe weeks of silence, most men do exactly what ruins everything. They rush back like she's doing them a favor. Today, we're going to break that pattern forever. Welcome back to the channel, and in this video, we're diving into what you should really do when a woman reaches out after you've been ignoring her. Because make no mistake, that message she just sent, it's not pure. It's not always about missing you. It's often about seeing if she still has you wrapped around her finger. If you're not careful, you'll lose the very advantage you earned by doing the hard thing, by staying silent. This is where most men collapse. They think her reaching out is a green light to go back to being available 24/7. Wrong. It's a test. It's a shift in power. And the way you handle it will either make her respect you even more, or make her realize you're still easy to control. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to navigate this moment like a man who knows his worth. Because you're not here to be someone's emotional safety net. You're here to be the prize, the man she has to work for. If you get this wrong, you reset the whole game. You lose your mystery, your value, and your position. But if you get this right, you create deeper attraction without chasing, without begging, and without ever stepping off your throne. Let's get into it. 1. Don't reply immediately. One of the biggest mistakes men make when a woman reaches out after you've been silent is responding too fast. She sends a text, and before she can even lock her phone, you've already written back a paragraph. That's a huge mistake, because it instantly tells her she's still the center of your world. It shows her that even after pulling away, you were just sitting there waiting for her. You have to understand something. Urgency destroys power. When you jump to reply, you erase all the mystery you built by ignoring her. You confirm that you are only ignoring her to get a reaction, not because you actually had a life, goals, or things more important than her. And once she senses that, the respect starts to fade again. What you want to do instead is simple. Delay your response. It doesn't mean you play childish games. It means you move at your pace, not hers. When she reaches out, take your time. Respond after an hour. Respond after a few hours. Maybe even the next day if you're genuinely busy. The point is, you are not available at the snap of her fingers. Let her wonder. Let her question herself. That's what reawakens her interest. When you make her sit with that tension, you make her work emotionally for your attention again. And that's what builds real attraction. Here's a clear example. Let's say you've been silent for a week, focusing on your business or hitting the gym hard. Suddenly, she texts you. Hey, haven't heard from you in a while. How have you been? Instead of dropping everything to text back immediately, you stay focused. Finish your workout. Take care of your priorities first. Then, after a few hours, you send a simple reply like, all good, been busy, hope you're doing well. Notice two things here. You didn't ignore her forever, but you also didn't act like you were desperate to hear from her. You kept it light, respectful, but firm. And most importantly, you stayed in control of your time. This keeps you in the driver's seat. It sends the silent message that you are a man with options, with discipline, and with a full life. And if she wants a piece of it, she's going to have to earn it. Remember, the man who moves slower always holds the power. Let her feel that. 2. Stay cool, not excited. When she reaches out after silence, your emotions are going to get tested. You might feel a sudden rush, excitement, validation, maybe even a little relief. But if you let that excitement leak out into how you respond, you lose ground fast. You have to stay cool, calm, almost detached. Because the moment you show too much enthusiasm, you're telling her she still controls how you feel. And that's not the frame you want to operate from. Think about it. If she disappeared, pulled away, or left you hanging, and now she's back, why would you act like you just won the lottery? You're not a man desperate for scraps. You're a man who values himself first. A lot of men don't realize that showing too much excitement is emotional begging in disguise. It says, your attention is my reward. Your text made my day. And that's not attractive. That's not powerful. That's submissive energy. And women feel it instantly. Your mindset should be different. If she reaches out, great. If she doesn't, life goes on. You don't celebrate a woman doing the bare minimum. You appreciate genuine effort, sure, but you don't get emotional over a basic text or a simple check-in. You don't hand out your excitement for free. Coolness isn't about being rude. It's about being centered. It's the vibe of a man who knows his life is already full. And her presence would be a bonus, not a necessity. You're not mad she reached out, and you're not overly happy either. You're simply grounded. Picture it like this. You're a man standing firmly on solid ground. Whether she walks towards you or walks away, your ground doesn't shake. You're good either way, That's the energy that makes women lean in harder. They don't want a man who jumps like a dog every time they throw a bone. They want a man they have to work to impress. Staying cool is also about slowing down your reactions internally. Even if your heart beats a little faster when you see her name pop up, you don't let it take over. You breathe. You relax. You tell yourself, this is just a message. I decide how important it is. You remind yourself that the real prize is your peace, your time, and your standards, not her sudden attention. Men who stay cool naturally build more attraction because they're showing something rare, emotional self-control. And emotional self-control is a magnet. It signals strength without you having to say a word. So when she reaches out, stay cool. You have nothing to prove. You are the standard she has to meet, not the other way around. 3. Make her earn your attention. One of the most important shifts you must make in your mindset is this. Not every woman deserves your full attention, especially not the ones who pulled away or disappeared when it suited them. If a woman reaches out after you've been silent, that doesn't automatically mean she deserves to be welcomed back into your life with open arms. Too many men make the mistake of thinking any breadcrumb of attention is enough to start giving everything again. Time, energy, emotions. That's not how a man of value moves. A woman needs to earn your attention. She needs to show, through consistent actions, that she respects your time, values your presence, and wants to be part of your life for the right reasons. Not just because she was bored, lonely, or curious about whether you were still available. You have to ask yourself, what has she actually done to deserve your energy right now? Has she apologized? Has she shown genuine interest? Is she putting in real effort, not just throwing you a casual hey to see if she still has access to you? This is where many men get trapped emotionally. They confuse access with value. Just because she's reaching out doesn't mean she's ready to bring value into your life. Sometimes women reach out just to feed their ego, to check if you're still an option, or to keep you in the background while they explore other things. Your attention is currency. And when you give it away for free to someone who hasn't earned it, you show that you don't value yourself highly enough. That energy bleeds through everything you say and do. The right mindset is simple. My attention is earned, not given. Not because you're bitter, not because you're playing games, but because you know what you bring to the table. You respect your time, your focus, and your emotional peace too much to hand it over to someone who isn't showing they truly want it. Staying in this frame will change everything. She will feel it. She'll realize she's not dealing with the same man she thought she could manipulate, breadcrumb, or string along. She'll either step up or disappear again, and either way, you win. Either she shows genuine interest, in which case you can engage at your pace and on your terms, or she fades out and you stay focused on your mission without wasting more time. Attention is a reward, not a right. Remember that. You're not just another option she can entertain when she's bored. You are a man she should be working to impress, to earn, and to keep. That mindset alone will separate you from almost every other man out there. 4. Respond short, not long. When a woman reaches out after you've been silent, your response should always stay short and sharp. Long, emotional messages are where men start losing their power fast. It's understandable why it happens. She texts, and suddenly all the emotions you held back come flooding in. You want to explain yourself. You want to pour out everything you felt during the silence. But none of that helps you. In fact, it only weakens your position. When you send long responses, you're showing too much investment too soon. You're showing that you were sitting there, waiting, thinking, analyzing, and now that she's tossed you a little attention, you're ready to hand it all over. That's not attractive. It's heavy. It kills the tension. Short responses do the opposite. They signal control. They show that you're emotionally steady, that you haven't been spinning in circles over her absence. It's powerful because it leaves space for her to wonder. And mystery is what draws people in. It's the fuel of real attraction. It's not about being rude or cold. It's about being concise, being a man who doesn't waste words, because his time and energy are already valuable. You're not trying to have deep heart-to-heart conversations right now. She hasn't earned that yet. You're letting her feel what it's like to reapproach a man who knows his value. When you respond short, you're forcing her to do more. You're letting her take the lead. You're letting her prove whether her reaching out was just a random moment of boredom, or if she's genuinely trying to reconnect in a meaningful way. Most men make it way too easy for her. She sends a basic text, and they respond with a 5-paragraph essay, pouring out all their emotions and all their thoughts. What happens next? She pulls away again, because now the dynamic is flipped. You've given her all your cards without making her invest anything. You want to flip that script. You want to be the man who gives just enough to keep her interested, but not enough to make her feel like she's already won. If she sends a one-line text, your response should match that energy. If she puts in more effort, then, and only then, do you slowly open up a little more. Keeping it short protects your emotional position. It keeps you in control of the pace. And it keeps her chasing your validation instead of the other way around. You are not a man trying to convince her. You are a man she's trying to re-earn. Stay short. Stay sharp. Keep her chasing, not coasting. 5. Don't bring up the past. One of the fastest ways to kill any chance of rebuilding attraction is by dragging the past into the present. It's tempting. You feel like you deserve answers. You want to know why she disappeared, why she ignored you, why she acted like you didn't matter. But here's the reality. The second you start bringing that energy into the conversation, you lose all your power. A man who truly values himself doesn't need to dig into old wounds. He doesn't need closure from her. He creates his own closure by living well and moving forward. If you bring up the past, even in a calm way, it shows you're still emotionally attached to what happened. It signals to her that you've been stewing, hurting, thinking about it way more than you should have been. And trust me, that doesn't make her feel attracted. It makes her feel like she's still in control. Instead, you need to approach it like this. The past doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. If she's reaching out now, the only thing that matters is what she does moving forward. Not what she says about the past, not what excuses she gives, and not what sad stories she tells. Think about it like running into someone you haven't seen in years. You don't walk up and start blaming them for not keeping in touch. You either move forward with positive energy, or you move on. Simple. Here's how it looks when you do it right. Let's say she sends a message like, "Hey, I've been thinking about you lately." You don't respond with, "Really? Where were you when I needed you?" You don't say, "Oh, so now you care." You don't guilt trip, blame, or demand explanations. You keep it light, detached, even a little playful if you want. Something simple like, "Hope you've been good." That's it. You're showing her that you're not bitter, you're not emotional, and you're definitely not stuck in the past. That's powerful, because it puts the pressure back on her. Now, she's the one who has to show you, through her actions, not her words, that she's worth your time again. Most men ruin this opportunity because they think talking about the past will give them control. It won't. It will only remind her why she felt the need to pull away in the first place. Drama, heaviness, emotional weight. You don't want to carry any of that energy. You want to move like a man who's already over it, whether she stays or goes. The past is dead. If she wants a place in your life again, she has to build something new. And it's up to you to decide if she deserves that opportunity. Never let old wounds steal your power in the present. 6. Control the pace, not her. When a woman reaches out after you've gone silent, a lot of men make the mistake of trying to immediately take control of her. They try to lock her down again, seek reassurance, ask a lot of questions, or try to rush things forward so they can feel secure. But that's the wrong move. You never want to control her. You want to control the pace of the interaction, and there's a big difference. Controlling her is about trying to force her to act a certain way, getting desperate for her to validate you, trying to make her commit instantly, or setting a bunch of demands right away. When you do that, you're moving out of your masculine frame. You're acting out of fear. Fear of losing her again, fear of not being chosen, fear of being alone. That's not leadership. That's insecurity. Real strength is about setting the tone and letting her choose whether or not she wants to rise to it. When you control the pace, you're saying, "I'm not in a rush. I'm not desperate. I'm going to let this unfold on my terms." You're letting her feel that if she wants more of you, she's going to have to keep investing, keep chasing, keep earning a spot in your life. You slow things down, not because you're playing games, but because you respect yourself too much to just hand yourself over for free. It's like when someone tries to re-enter your life after walking away. You don't roll out the red carpet immediately. You don't treat them the same as someone who stayed loyal. You take your time. You let the energy build naturally again, if it's even worth building. Most men go wrong because they fear losing the little bit of interest she's showing. She sends one sweet message, and they want to lock her down that same night. But that energy, that needy, rushing energy, makes her feel trapped. It reminds her why she pulled away in the first place. Instead, the smarter move is patience. Move slowly, stay calm. Let her feel a little uncertainty. Let her wonder where she stands with you. Let her put in the work to prove that she's serious. By controlling the pace, you create a dynamic where she's the one seeking more of your time, your energy, and your approval, not the other way around. You are not a man scrambling for a woman's affection. You are the prize. You are the one she has to earn back. Slowly, steadily, and consistently. Patience isn't weakness. It's power. And the man who controls the pace controls the entire game, without ever needing to control her. 7. Stay ready to walk away. If there's one thing men need to wake up and understand, it's this. Your power doesn't come from how much you can hold on. It comes from how easily you can walk away. Too many men live like their entire happiness depends on whether a woman stays in their life. They build their self-worth around whether she answers, whether she comes back, whether she gives them another shot. And because of that, they make themselves slaves to her attention. It's weak. And it's the fastest way to lose not just her, but your own self-respect. You need to realize that no woman is above you. I don't care how beautiful she is, how sweet she acts when she's around, or how good the connection used to feel. If she disrespects you, disappears, or plays games, you should already be halfway out the door mentally. Staying ready to walk away doesn't mean you're bitter. It doesn't mean you're cold-hearted. It means you've matured enough to understand that your time, your peace, and your energy are sacred. The moment a woman reaches out after you've gone silent, you need to remember, her reaching out doesn't mean anything yet. Words are cheap. Apologies are easy. Missed calls and "I miss you" texts are just a tiny spark. Not proof of loyalty, not proof of change. If you're not willing to walk away at the first sign of games, you're not leading. You're begging. And begging never wins. A lot of guys secretly hope that once she reaches out, everything will go back to being perfect. They want to pick up right where they left off. But life doesn't work that way. People only value what they have to work for. If you make it easy, if you make it obvious that you'll accept anything just to keep her around, you teach her that she doesn't have to respect you. Men have to wake up to this simple truth. You don't prove your worth by staying no matter what. You prove it by knowing when to leave. When you stay ready to walk away, you move differently. You don't get reactive. You don't panic when she pulls back. You don't chase scraps of attention just because you're afraid of being alone. You know that your value isn't attached to her. It's attached to the life you've built, the strength, the purpose, and the dignity you carry every day. Stay ready to walk away. Not because you want to, but because you're strong enough to. That's the mindset that keeps your standards high, your heart protected, and your power exactly where it belongs. With you. Here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Most men today are not rejected because they're not good enough. They're rejected because they've forgotten how to be men. Harsh? Maybe. But real. You see, somewhere along the way, men were told that to keep a woman, they had to become softer, more available, more emotional, more agreeable. And what happened? Women stopped respecting them. Not because they hate those traits, but because they crave polarity. Masculine energy that holds its ground, not one that bends at every turn. What we've talked about in this video isn't just relationship advice. It's about reclaiming who you are at your core. You're not here to entertain, please, or perform. You're here to lead, to own your presence, and to stop apologizing for being a man in a world that keeps trying to tame you. And I want to hear from you, seriously. What's one thing in this video that hit you the hardest? What have you tolerated for too long? Drop it in the comments. I go through them personally, and I'll reach out to some of you. This isn't just a channel. It's a community of men who are waking up and taking their power back. And you're part of that. So if you're ready to stop losing yourself in the chase and start standing like the man you were born to be, this is your space. Let's talk in the comments. I'm listening.